Dom here from Esports News UK, back with my end of week news stream. Lots gone on this week. We've had the big news of Caedrel's All-Star League of Legends roster. Probably the biggest news in the UK and Nordics NLC League ever, I think. If it's true that they're moving into the NLC, that is absolutely huge. They are eligible for the Balkans EBL League as well, but Caedrel originally said, Hazza, JC, raiding with a party of 50. What's going on here? Why didn't I get an alert for that? What is happening here? Hazza, JC, oh my god, I can't see what's happening here. Something's gone wrong. Here we go. I hope people can hear me. I can't. This all seems weird for me. Can people hear me okay? Thank you for raiding, Hazza. I appreciate it. If people don't know who I am, my name's Dom Sacco. Howsy, thank you for following the stream. I write about UK esports. This needs to disappear 1 second. I write about UK esports. I've written hundreds, probably thousands of articles now about news here, Valorant League, Counter-Strike, all that stuff. Just done loads of world's content. So I do my end of week news stream. I chat about the week's news. Like I was just saying, I think the biggest news of the week has to be this. Caedrel's roster, this all-star roster featuring Reckless, Nemesis, Crowny, Velja, I think it is, who's like the one rookie of the team, and then Caedrel is the coach. Absolutely massive. I hope they play in the NLC. I really, really do, because we need some life kicked back into this region. Raw Moraro, thank you for following. I hope I've pronounced that okay. Yeah, I'm really excited. League of Legends is my main game I write about. Caedrel was talking about coming into this league. This was about half a year ago, saying, basically, I had this idea. What if me, Nemesis and the Baus bought an NLC spot and competed in the NLC, and we won it, went to EU Masters, and if Crowney's down for it, or Freeze, or Rat IRL wants to play support, that would be crazy. He's actually gone even crazier, because he's gone and got Reckless, who's just left T1. So you can see the roster there, the Baus, Velja, Nemesis, Crowney and Reckless, and then Caedrel from the UK. Now, to play in, if you don't know, to play in an ERL or a European Regional League or EMEA Regional League, whatever they're called these days, you need 3 locally trained representatives to play in that league. And they have 3 for the NLC, so the UK, Ireland and Nordic countries, and also for the Balkan EBL League. So Caedrel hasn't confirmed which league he's going to play in yet. This team is going to play in, but they can play in the NLC. From what I understand, they're going for the NLC, but it's not been confirmed yet, and they can play in the EBL as well. Because you've got a coach actually counts as a member of the team roster. So a coach, we've got 2 from Sweden, 1 from UK, so that's 3 locally trained representatives, and then you've also got 2 players from Slovenia, 1 from Serbia, so that's 3 locally trained representatives from the Balkans area as well. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I can't wait. I think it's crazy news. The fact that they're so different to other teams. You have orgs playing in the NLC. Some players will have a wage, obviously, have a salary. Some won't. It is a lower tier ERL. Although I say a lower tier, it's like low viewership ERL. I don't think it's lower tier in terms of some of the players, some of the quality of the players we have in there. So I'm excited about this. We'll see what happens. I did a very in-depth article that did well for me on Google. I've put my views in the article. I've got the views of Middlecott and NLC Cast, and I've put some other tweets in there as well, reacting to the news. Mirai, how are you? I like that arcane logo in front of your name, Mirai. How did you get that? That looks cool. Mirai says, hear any rumours on what Dom and Yamato are cooking up for their NLC team, allegedly? No, I haven't heard they've had an NLC team. That's the first you've told me. I should know about this, shouldn't I? What's Dom been saying? The better Dom, I will say. Are there any links, Mirai, or is this a sort of rumour thing that's going around? Because the Caedrel thing was kind of like an open secret. You know, I'd heard of some of these players on the roster for quite a while. I'd heard he was doing something in the NLC months ago. Like I say, I've put it all in my article, but that's the first I've heard of I Will Dominate. From watching the Arcane stream. Do you know what? I've only seen the first 10 minutes of episode 1, so I've got a lot to catch up on with Arcane, but I loved season 1. So yeah, let me know what you've heard, and Yamato Cannon, I can't see anything that they're tweeting there. I mean, but then, I know I can see it in two ways, because if we're getting lots of like streamer and, you know, pro players or former pro player teams in the European regional leagues, I don't want the league to just become their plaything, you know, and take spots from other teams as well. But at the same time, I want the viewership there, and I want these leagues to succeed and do well. So, you know, I'm interested to see how it goes, but I don't think I'd want more than like 2 or 3 streamer content teams in there. Does it then just become a muck about, you know? But I think Caedrel has said they are gonna do it for content, but they are gonna try hard. You know, they are gonna do their best to win it as well. So I say I don't want it to become their plaything, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I just feel like if we have the whole league or half the teams in the league that are like streamer teams, I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. But I know I'm an old guy. What do I know? Mira says it's a rumour from that Dom quote tweet of the Los Ratones roster announcement, and on stream he said him and Yamato are looking to own an org going into next year. That's where the rumours start and end. Ah, right, okay. I've missed that. Let's have a look at his. We'll come on to the LPL news in a minute, because that's sad as well. So it's big as well. Right, okay. So he said roster looks great. I presume they will have the second best roster in that league. I missed this. This was posted. I did have a bit of a crazy day. I was doing the school run at this time, so that's why I missed that tweet. I'm gonna add that into. It says, "Is this a team for you partnering with Don Jake's team?" Interesting. And Don Jake said, "Los Cajones, lovely." Right. Okay. Well. It makes sense, right? Because Dom has funded Don Jake for some of his interviews, going out to Worlds and things like that. So, you know, if you give Don Jake a budget, a bigger budget for putting a team together, competing in the NLC, I'd be very excited to see what he can cook. That's different. If they're going in funding Don Jake's already an established org. He already has his org ruddy in the NLC, so that's slightly different. I'm interested to see what they do there. Mira says, if I had to guess, maybe Dom and Yamato are going to partner with Ruddy. Yeah. That one, I mean, that's interesting. I'm going to add that in. I'm going to add that in literally right now into this article. Let me just, don't want to see all the WordPress or the back end. Can you see my camera okay? Yeah. I'm going to add that in right now. I'm going to put in the reaction section. I'm going to put a streamer, I Will Dominate, has hinted that he will be involved in the NLC with a team too. Possibly funding Dodge Jake's Ruddy Esports? Question mark? We'll see. There we go, I've updated that now, so that'll be there. Interesting. We'll see what happens, won't we? But yeah, Los Ratones, I mean, I'm going to... Oh, how do we say it? Los Ratones, the mice, isn't it? Something like that. I like what Caedrel was saying here. If I skip to the quote that he said.
I'm starting an esports team in League of Legends that would just win the league. I think that's a bit boring. We didn't want to make a team that was 5 content creators because they might not be competitive and lose. That's a bit boring. We wanted a team that was competitive and fun. So for that reason, one of the main things that's going to be happening next year is all of our scrims will be public. And when I say all of them, I mean, yeah, pretty much everything will be public.
I won't play the whole thing, but, you know, I really like what Caedrel's saying. He's being open. He's saying he wants a competitive but fun team, wants to give his all in the project, and said, I've always wanted to find a way to start a team, and I feel like I'm in a place where I have the capability to do that. Most of that reason is because of your support for the stream. I hope you support us all next year. He also said on Velja, I wanted one rookie on the roster at least, and Velja broke the record for one of the highest win rates in Challenger recently. No one's really given him a big ERL chance yet, so he's someone we really want to work with and try and grow to become a strong player at the end of next year and join LEC in the future. And I like what he was saying about the Baus, about having to change his sort of play style, because obviously he plays that top lane 1v5, like Inti style gameplay, you know, Scion and all of that stuff, and Caedrel said of the Baus, he said he'll fine tune some of the Baus gameplay and he'll be fine in pro play. And in terms of their long term goals, Caedrel said we'll take it step by step. Obviously, we want to reach the pinnacle of Europe and the highest competition, but how we get there is undetermined. If you think this roster is crazy, we have a few other things you might think are even crazier over the next few weeks. Now, Caedrel has obviously done things with Don Jake in the past. Don Jake knows everyone. Caedrel knows everyone. You know, I will dominate. They all know everyone. They all know each other. Caedrel's done a music video, hasn't he? I did a tweet recently. I'm gonna like that actually. Yeah, that's. Caedrel did a tweet. I did a tweet recently about Caedrel being the king of League of Legends content right now. He's doing all this amazing stuff. He's setting up the League Awards with Shocks, which I think is taking place December 5th in Berlin. Got a new agency, same agent but new agency. He's up for Streamer of the Year at the Streamer Awards. He broke all his viewership records at Worlds. He's just doing so well. He's just announced his roster. And this still is from a music video he did with Don Jake and Regan, another co-owner of Ruddy Esports, last year. The Shy is back, right? It was their Worlds 2023 song. So if, you know, Don Jake is going to be funded by Will Dominate, or even if he's not, don't be surprised to see some cross-org content. That wouldn't surprise me if we saw that, and I'd love to see that, and I hope to see it as well. So I love this news. We'll see what happens. I actually was so excited about this roster, and when Caedrel announced a few days ago, that the roster was going to be announced on 15th of November. So I did an article. I knew people would be Googling for the roster, so I did an article, Los Ratones roster. Caedrel set to announce big name player lineup, and that article did well for me on Google, and I got most of it right, but Caedrel isn't playing jungle. He's going to be the coach. So, but the rest of the roster was correct. It's great to see Nemesis back on the team. I'm looking forward to it. I think, and Caedrel said as well, like he's friends with all of them. You know, they're just a bunch of friends that want to have fun. It's going to be massive. Reckless has so many fans that will follow him around from team to team. It's just an all-star thing. And I actually think, even though they're big name players, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like there's massive egos on the team. Possibly you could argue a few of them. Nemesis, I think, has a bit of an ego, but Caedrel, I think, and even Reckless, I think they're quite good at, you know, they don't come across like egomaniacs to me. I think they're quite relatively grounded. So I was going to say, I think the only thing that will destroy the team will be the team, you know, if they're not getting along. But if they're doing it to have fun, I can't see any negatives from it, to be honest. So we'll see what happens there. That's the Caedrel news, and if anyone has any questions in the chat or wants to ask me my thoughts, actually, if you want to ask me my thoughts, I've put my thoughts at the bottom of the article here. Here's an old still from an interview I've done with Caedrel years ago when he was about to join Schalke in 2017, but I've said combining Caedrel with the Baust, Nemesis, Reckless and Crown is like dropping the biggest content bomb on our heads in our little NLC region, and I can't wait to see the fireworks. Let's just hope Caedrel doesn't somehow cancel the NLC in the process. Ho ho ho. So yeah, a little bit of a joke there, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. And then the other news, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff flying around, but I saw this morning. I had a lot of stuff on today. I had to take my son to a kid's party. I had to do some house stuff and other bits and pieces. But I managed to get this article done pretty quickly this morning while the news was relatively fresh. And the LPL broadcast, English broadcast, is going to adopt a co-streaming only model for 2025, which means they're not going to have the traditional caster lineup, production. They have said the aim aims to bring LPL English-speaking fans closer to the action by building a community-centred broadcast experience. Our goal is to enhance the way fans connect with LPL, meeting the players where they are and allowing them to enjoy matches in real time through their favourite streamers. But yeah, I guess it is a full, moving away. And what annoyed me about this, the way that this was phrased, this announcement from Riot, it was like, in 2025, we're excited to introduce this co-streaming only model. We're eager to bring fans to the end of the day. We can't wait to enjoy the season together with our amazing fans. No thank yous to the casters. No recognition to the casters. I thought this announcement was a bit tone deaf, to be honest. I was a bit disappointed with this. But I didn't want to be too negative. I feel like the casters said it best. I feel like Dagda said some really good things about Jamarda's put a McDonald's hat on himself. And Munchable said, commentator looking for work. Because LPL's had a lot of like UK and Ireland casters over the years. Naimera, Jamarda, Munchables, Dagda, Oisin. And Dagda made a nice tweet longer here, saying, to say I'm heartbroken is an understatement. Some of my fondest memories in my career are cast in the LPL with my best friends. The LPL's always been a league of passion, built on the back of community leaders and pilfered translations, fan sleepless nights and sneaky streams in work. It's a league that's always had amazing stories that deserve to be told, and the LPL English broadcast have been at the forefront of the casters have been at the forefront of bringing those stories to life. I cannot tell you how much I'll miss their voices. I love this league, and please do not stop sharing these stories with the world. In my slight rushing to write this story earlier, I've done the headline without blooming. It needs to be English broadcast. Need to put English in there. There we go. Here we go. Save that. Here we go. So yeah, I think it's sad. I just can't believe there's casters like Naimera out of casting work right now. He did some LEC stuff for a bit. Excuse me. I'd love to see him back doing more LEC stuff. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But sad news, I think. Arcane spoilers, I don't want to read that. Yeah, and Naimera said, I've only been part of the LPL broadcast for the last 2 years, but it's crushing to see it go. Thanks for watching us cast this wonderful region for so many years. For old time's sake, if you have a favourite memory of the LPL English broadcast, could you share them below? And he said, I'll do my best to keep co-streaming the LPL next year alongside Sam and others that initialised his brother, which of course is something I enjoy a massive amount, but casting the region officially with wonderful colleagues has been a special experience I'll be sad to lose. Another reminder that the work of a caster's career can be brutal. How publishers chop and change their strategies can be brutal and unforgiving, and it's difficult. You're at the mercy of the publishers, aren't you? And there's no doubting that co-streaming is popular, but like Dagda says, casters bring broadcast to life, and streamers have their role. Of course they do. Caedrel had more views than the official Worlds broadcast, but there's a balance to strike. I mean, even if they'd kept 2 casters on, I think would have been nice, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Right, I'll jump into some of the other news I've done this week. More depressing news. The UK's lost another games event. Okay, this is an indie games dev, showcase event, WASD, but actually I've written about this because I know a lot of people in the esports industry attended WASDs, liked the networking there, enjoyed attending. Really nice, sort of like feel good, homely type event. I love indie games. I like to see indie games succeed. Some of the best games out there are indie games or started life as indie games. And WASD is no more. The parent company, Ratones Events and Content Limited, evented liquidation. This actually happened a month ago, but BBC just broke the news the other day. And, more sad news. There wasn't a big esports focus at these events, but earlier this year there was the Digital Schoolhouse Splatoon 3 esports finals for school teams, and I went to that and covered it and did a little talk about esports journalism and my work. I'm very humbled that I get invited to these school finals each year by UKI, the UK Games Industry Trade Body, and I'm sure they'll find another venue, obviously, but it was really nice where it was held. It was like in the basement level of WASD at the Truman, was it the Truman Brewery in London? And the co-founder of Ratones Events and Content Limited that ran WASD said increasing costs and less demand for stand space means running events is just not viable for us anymore. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's supported us along the way. And I get it, right? If you're an indie dev as well, are you going to have the money to spend however much it costs? I don't know how much it costs, hundreds or thousands to have a stand at these events. Or are you going to use that funding to push your game out digitally on Twitter or whatever else? You're probably going to do the latter, especially if you're a small indie startup. So it doesn't surprise me, but it of course comes after Insomnia Gaming Festival went earlier this year. We've had EGX tagged onto MCM Comic Con. And EGX has had esports events, and I saw a lot of people on Twitter moaning about the most recent EGX, saying, it's not what it once was. There isn't much space dedicated to games. It's all about cosplay and the MCM Comic Con culture stuff. Like, this is really sad. But, and again, another reason why I'm glad I run this story, John Winkle, God bless John Winkle, the MD of Epic Land, has reached out to some of the devs, has put a post out basically saying Epic Land can offer some space for small indie dev studios who want to get in front of around 1,000 people at their next Epic Land to show off 4 to 5 titles. So good on you, John. Glad to see that, and we'll see what happens. And then the other news is, because as I was looking around on Twitter, looking at people reacting to this WASD news, this sort of flew under the radar. This news a week ago, I actually didn't receive this press release. I fell off the PR's mailing list, and I've had a moan at them. Said, why am I not on your mailing list? I would have liked to have known about this. So they put me back. I don't know what happened. But London Games Festival has announced a new consumer games expo, which is called New Game Plus, which it will showcase upcoming games from around the world across all platforms, blah, blah, blah. Now, I did ask them, do you have an esports focus? And I didn't have on-record comment, but from what I understand, they will be looking at opportunities for esports again in 2025. And that comes after the London Games Festival this year. I actually got involved with this one. I helped them a little bit. They had a Rocket League play against the pros type showcase at the opening night of the 2024 London Games Festival at Coots Bank in London. And we had some Rocket League Resolve pro players and coach playing against members of the games industry, which was really fun. And we also had Damp and Mads Pedersen, casters, really good casters, hosting proceedings as well. So it looked really good. They had this esports challenge stage. So I'm hoping that they do more in the future. They have this like Trafalgar Square, where is it here? They have an annual Trafalgar Square like space for activities, and which could be ideal for esports as well, from what I understand. Hey, Jacob, how are you? I think we should make an esports awards for broadcast people. Would be fun. Hey, man, I'm with you. Like, do you know what? I've got to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with the league awards. I like what Caedrel's doing. I like what Shocks are doing. They're doing their own League of Legends awards. Just the other day, this is December 5th in Berlin, and the other day they announced the nominations have opened. This was 4 days ago. By the way, if you do vote for, vote for your nominees, your potential winners and all that, apparently these are my people I voted for here, right? There is no submit button here, right? I messaged Caedrel's agent. I was like, "Where's the submit button?" Because there were a few other people on Twitter saying, "How I can't submit my entries." There is no submit button. It saves it automatically. So there's a few of my choices there. Player of the Year had to be Faker for me, but I'm a bit disappointed. There's, I'm going to be biased. I know us journalists are all dying, and not literally, but journalism is not in a great space. But I'm biased because I am one, well, sort of, right? I'm a content creator as well. I'm an editor, I think, more than I'm a journalist these days. But there's no Journalist of the Year. There's no written content. There is Esports Creator of the Year, but I think that's going to be streamers. Creator Event of the Year. Why couldn't we've just had Event of the Year or something like that, or smaller Event of the Year? Community Creator of the Year. Can we have like Content Piece of the Year? I mean, okay, maybe these do include written content and video content, but I would like to see Journalist because there's a lot. I think there's some really good writers out there in League of Legends esports. Shout out to Cecilia, Patty, Jack, Hannah, people like that who've worked with me. But Cecilia, I think in particular, has done a lot of good written work this year and deserves to be nominated, in my opinion. But I'm excited for it as well. And on your point, Jacob, I do think it'd be nice to have an esports journalist awards now that there's no esports journalist award in the main esports awards as well. And I was on Richard Lewis's stream the other week and in the chat, and he was chatting to me saying, "Let's do our own one, Dom." I'm open to it. It'd be hard. The thing is, there's so few esports journalists. Half the people organising it, you wouldn't be able to nominate them because they're organising the awards. So I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. The answer is journalism's dying, everyone, and people don't really care too much about journalism. They just care about, getting the content they want to get, the news they want to get, whether that's on TikTok, on a Caedrel stream, on Twitter, or whatever it is. That's all people care about. But I'm still going to be fighting the good fight, and I do think it's important doing these kinds of articles so that people can get the content they want when they search for stuff on Google. So that's that. WASD, RIP. But London Games Festival's getting this new event next year. What else have we had this week? Haven't had like massive stuff, to be honest. I want to chat about this stuff. Wolves. I'm interested to see. I think this has happened today. Wolves is Honour of Kings team reached the KPL, the King Pro League Grand Finals, competing in front of more than 30,000 fans today. This was from 10 a.m. just after 10 a.m. So I'm going to see how this has gone. But they were playing against AG Superplay. They're all Chinese team. This is Wolves' team. But they made it to the final, and this is a big deal as well. This is, I think, the winner takes home. I'll put here. The prize pool is $10 million, almost $10 million. That's a big prize pool, and the winner of this weekend's final will take home around $3 million, and the runners-up just over $1 million. So let's see how this has gone today. Good old Liquipedia. Wolves lost. Wolves lost 4-2. So AG Superplay, congrats to them, but sad to see, at what is basically an English Premier League club, right? The esports arm of that, not doing so well. They've also lost to Mouse today in Street Fighter Europe as well. Oh dear, not a good weekend for Wolves then. Yeah, defeat. We lose 4-2 to AG in the Honour of Kings KPL Grand Final to claim second place. Thanks for your support. We fought as hard as we could, but it wasn't our day. Okay, that's a shame. Other stuff, we've had the Antonio, the top laner for Giant X's LEC team, is stepping down. He's retiring from pro play, but is going to become a content creator and ambassador for Giant X. Someone in my Discord, Esports News UK Discord chat said this week, will they be co-streaming? Yeah. So yeah, he will be provide the official LEC co-stream for Berlin. I think someone said how many teams, are all teams going to start co-streaming? Well, it wouldn't surprise me with the way that co-streaming is going and Riot's views on it as well. And actually, there was a bit, I found this interesting. I posted it on Twitter, didn't do that well, but I found this interesting. This was buried in the press release about this news. David Alonso, Giant X's esports director. I keep getting muddled up thinking it's Guild X. I don't know why that's in my head. It's Giant X. What am I thinking? But David Alonso, Giant X's esports director, said about the strategy for Giant X in League of Legends, said, we want to scout players through data because we're very good at it and we have a system that sets us apart from other clubs in Europe. To become the next G2 or Fnatic, we need to recruit the next generation of stars like Broken Blade, Yike and Caps. We focus on young talent and players who are very dedicated. I mean, good luck finding players like that before other teams do. Interested to see what direction Giant X go in. They need to change something. I'm bored of them mid-table all the time. Come on, let's try and make it to Worlds. And I know you try and make it to Worlds, but they need something. They need a really killer player to grab them by the scruff of the neck and just go for it. They haven't quite been there, have they? They haven't quite done it, Giant X, which pains me because they're a London headquartered and Spanish headquartered team. I want them to do well. So that's that. I've finished up most of my Worlds content now. Is this November 9th? When did I last do a stream? We haven't had a lot of news, to be honest. This news went a bit crazy for me. Shout out to Don Jake for this. I have no likes on this tweet. No likes. It might be because I put a link in it and it's not hitting the algorithm very well. I usually get some good likes. I've had quite a few unfollows today as well. What's happening? What is happening? I've got a quiet stream as well. How many viewers have I got today? 10 viewers. You're all being quiet tonight. I usually have a nice active chat. Does anyone have any questions for me or anything? Arsenal beat Tottenham today. We sometimes have people asking about sports in the chat. Arsenal beat Tottenham 3-0. The ladies 3-0 at Tottenham's ground. That's always good to see. Me and my son watched that and we enjoyed the win. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh yeah, this story here. University of Chichester announcing an esports psychology degree. This did oh my goodness, almost 200,000 views. University of Chichester is launching a BSc Hons Psychology of Esports degree September next year. Chichester Uni said it's the world's first degree of its kind. Benjamin T. Sharp, Dr. Benjamin T. Sharp, I should say, said, we're not just filling a market gap and responding to stakeholder calls, we're creating versatile graduates equipped with both psychological expertise and practical industry skills within and beyond esports. And has had some criticism here. Someone said this is the most useless degree I've ever seen. LMFAO, specialising deeper. Edenino from CS says specialising deeper into an already specialised subject. My jungler keeps saying my top laner has C. Okay, we start the examination. First class. What do you do when your teammates start telling you to go KYS? GX Danny has said here, before anyone, someone from Giant X here, senior finance manager, has said, before anyone gets scammed by this BS, do a bit of research and try to find a single psychology job within UK esports. The reality is, with Guild and others going under, Guild hasn't technically gone under, it's sold to another buyer. LEC VCT based in Berlin for Giant X Fnatic competitive staff, and Counter-Strike being remote. UK-based esports psychology jobs don't exist. Well, the thing is, Danny, the thing is, we've got a lot of esports degrees, esports college courses, esports BTEC. It is a fair point. There is a finite number of jobs in esports. It's a volatile industry. But courses like this, you know, I've worked with journalists on my teams in the past, on different magazines and things, who don't have a degree in journalism. They might have degrees in history or a degree in English or whatever else. You know, I still think a degree like this can be valuable. You can apply a lot of these learnings to sports. You can apply them to other psychology jobs. You know, you don't have to do this degree and get a job in esports. And I actually encourage, when I give talks at colleges and unis and all that, I encourage students to not to worry about working outside of esports for a few years at least. Build your skills up. Esports is always going to be a thing, and it will have ups and downs. But having a good qualification can be really valuable. Saying that, my personal views on degrees, I do think they're way too expensive, and I'm not really going to encourage my kids to go to uni if they can, you know, do college or get an apprenticeship or whatever else. Of course, if they want to go uni, I'm not going to stop them, but I'm going to remind them how much in debt they're going to be and how long that may take to pay off. But yeah, shout out to Don Jake of Ruddy, because Don Jake did. That's not very nice. People saying these degrees are kind of pointless, but Don Jake was the one that spread this tweet. I mean, 161,000 views just from his tweet, and he's gone, first lecture, our mid laner keeps telling the jungler he has C, what do we do? Yeah, that's League of Legends for you, isn't it? But there's all the full details in the article I did. I like Chichester Uni. They have some good lecturers like Ram Singh, who was one of the first pro gamers in the UK, played for Dignitas many years ago with Odie, and I've been to their university a few times, done some talks, moderated some of their esports broadcast projects, and given them feedback and done some articles on those esports days, and they're one of few degree courses in the UK for esports that is very good in my opinion. I think, you know, I'll list a few, but I probably will forget some. But Uni of Staffordshire are a lot better now from what I hear, and you know, just have some good lecturers there. College of Esports and Chichester, they're three of the main ones, but there are a bunch of others as well. I'm giving a talk at Southampton Solent Uni on Monday, which I'm looking forward to. Remote, so I don't have to travel that far, but yeah. I think, to be honest, other than that, we haven't had. I've done some other things here. I think there's been some things around Movember. I like this talk squad idea where you can have you can get like mental health, have a mental health support call while you're playing a game with the the person who's giving support. I like this kind of thing. They're doing an event at Guild, I think. Yep, Guild, in the next week or two, and they're going to have like a launch event. You've got Ian Chambers there, the esports host. You've got a few streamers and things, Angry Ginge, TN25, and a few others. Yeah, there's been a few Movember esports initiatives this month, which I think is positive. So I've done a few things on that. I can't remember if I spoke about this story last week. We had a UK coach in Brawl Stars who's become a world champion, led his team Humble to victory. I think I spoke about this actually on the stream last week, so I won't speak too much about this, but not the biggest or most exciting or prominent esports in the world, but I like to shout about achievements on Esports News UK. That's partly why I set the site up and all of that stuff. And since I've gone live, I've seen a bunch of other things as well. I've seen where is it here? East London Smash. Shout out to Wade who does some fighting games content for us. It's saying it's a biggest post-launch event for rivals of A for 2 in the whole of Europe. Catch all the action live 11 today. Maybe he can do some kind of article for us on how that's gone, but it's, you know, I love the passion of the fighting games community in the UK and beyond. Torok, shout out to Torok, a real NLC veteran, has won the Iberian Cup. So I think this is the Giant X Academy team playing in Spain, playing in the Superliga, I think Division 1, the Superliga. They've won the Iberian Cup, so congrats to them. Probably will have a press release from Giant X about this. You know, okay, it's their Spanish team, but you know, Torok's based in the UK, and it's a positive story. I'll see if I can do something on that. Have they got any other tweets on Iberian Cup winner setup? I'll have to do something on that. We've just had Verdant win the UKEL Division 1 champions. So they've won the Aurora Cup and Division 1. Did I do something on Verdant winning? I feel really bad if I haven't. Oh God, I did one last year. I didn't do one this year. I need to do an article on Verdant because they've done well winning both of those. And I wonder what Sammy, the owner of Verdant, thinks of Los Ratones, Caedrel's team, potentially coming into the NLC. We'll see. So I need to do something on this. And it was a rematch of the Summer Showdown final, and Verdant beat Ruddy 3-1. So Ruddy aren't going to be happy. They keep getting to UK esports grand finals, and they keep losing the grand finals. They haven't even tweeted about the loss here, have they? No. Ruddy's back in Valorant. And I've just seen this. I don't know. I don't really want to watch 8 minutes of Maniac waffling. I don't know even if I want to go into all the context and the mess that was the Maniac situation a few months ago. But Liam, shout out to Liam, really good photographer here in UK Sports, doing stuff with Into It. More than photography, he's doing loads of stuff for Into the Breach these days. And does videography. But Liam said 8 minutes in and didn't even manage to apologise once. Absolutely disgusting. Didn't take any accountability and just made excuses. You can Google Maniac and what happened earlier this summer. Awful harassment, physical harassment, abuse. A sort of step back. He done a tweet saying he was going to step back and reflect on things. Have you really reflected in like 1 month, 2 months? I thought it was going to take a long break. Lauren here said, like, literally, what was the point in him taking a break from the internet if he's not going to reflect on his actions? Like, did he just stare at a wall for a few weeks with zero comprehension or what? So, you know, disappointing. This was 3 hours ago. I don't actually know if anyone has done a news story on that yet. It doesn't look like it, but you can see all these stories here, right, of what happened a few months ago. Pattern of inappropriate behaviour. I will watch this at some point. I don't really want to watch it on stream. But yeah, I think that's it from me. There's probably a lot of news I've missed, to be honest. Things are getting so busy. I've got a lot on at the moment, doing other bits and pieces, and I'm trying to step back a little bit as well. I'm trying to, I've been so busy with Worlds and the things that were happening before that, and coverage partnerships and all of this stuff. I just got a lot going on, and I also next year I want to write a book. I want to write a book on 10 years covering UK esports. I've got ideas for other things I want to do. I don't want to be doing the news churn forever. I'm old as well, and I'm still going to keep going with Esports News UK. I'm not just going to give up or anything like that, but I'm looking long term and want to do slightly different things, and hopefully in the long term I can get some people to maybe step in and take charge of Esports News UK and maybe give them a percentage of the business or something like that, and see if we can arrange something. So I think that's it from me, to be honest. Is there anything else people want me to comment on or talk about? Because I have whittled through quite a lot of, I have waffled quite a bit today, haven't I? I haven't had a lot of questions in the chat. Is there anyone has any questions for me? Want me to talk about anything? I mean, we can have a look at what the other news sites are doing as well. Overactive Media, the Mad Lions lot, and Riot Games eliminate $2 million in LEC franchise fees. I thought they'd done something similar to this ages ago. They've done this again now. I had a press release on this, but I didn't run it because it wasn't really a strong UK angle. According to release, a new deal will see a reduction in franchise payables with Riot Games, eliminating $2 million that was due in 2025. The agreement will also unlock new revenue streams, expanded sponsorship opportunities, and blah blah blah. Yeah, and as we know, right, the LEC team will be rebranded to Koi in 2025. Oh, Esports Insider, I've spotted a typo. David, I met you at Worlds recently. David, I'm gonna have to call you out on stream, mate. Here, over the years, Overactive Media has developed a strong portfolio of partners. Overactive, or would it be Overactive Media has developed a strong portfolio of partners? I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to message him. It's always good. And by the way, if anyone spots typos on Esports News UK, because they do creep through, do message me. I had someone message me the other day actually saying, Dom, I think in your headline you mean this or that. I was like, shit, yeah, I've got a bloody typo in my headline. COD League 2025 schedule unveiled. Esports World Cup 2025 has revealed the first featured game title, which again is COD. MasterCard targets esports in Africa with Casablanca Esports Summit. Mobile Legends named exclusive women's esports title for Asian Esports Games 2024. And the Kesper Cup returns after a 3-year hiatus in League of Legends as well. COD League season will feature 4 LAN major events, online qualifiers, new minor tournaments, and will conclude with the Call of Duty League Championship. Begins December 6th. For the first time since 2020, the COD League will head to Europe with Toronto Ultra hosting the first major of the season in Madrid. Ah, right, okay, because they've had ones in Toronto before, so that's going to be in Madrid. Can't we get an event in the UK for COD? It's such passionate, loud fans here. Bring it to the UK. Activision. look at a few other sites before I switch the stream off. Tencent, Timmy Studio Group, L1 Global Esports GM resigns over alleged corruption. This was a crazy story. I read this the other day. Hot Drop has gone, RIP. Sad to see them go in the UK. I didn't actually do that. James at Esports Advocate did the stories on that, so I left him to it. We've spoken about that on last week's stream. Global Esports cancelled Global Esports games in Chengdu, China. Delayed it, I should say, is what they've said. And Freaks for You Gaming secures rights to operate Prime League from Riot. Riot Games has renewed its operator license for League of Legends Esports Prime League, giving the company authority to operate the DACH regional league for Germany, Switzerland and Austria from 2025 to 2027. Let's have a look at Dixerto as well before I go. I'd like to check a few of these other news sites. Sad to see Dixerto not doing as much esports news. I probably write more stories than Dixerto do. It's sad in terms of esports specific stories, and some of these aren't even stories. Best CS2 crosshair codes used by pros. This is just for Google. They've done the Caedrel news. Oh yeah, actually I want to talk about this here. They've done the LPL news as well. Bleed Esports all but dead as players begin terminating their own contracts. My God. So interestingly, the UK player Cypher isn't mentioned in there. Dropped to said update. Oh, sorry, that's Apex. Sorry. This is the right. The Apex and Rainbow Six teams are now cutting ties. Oh dear. Yeah, the CS teams, the CS roster abandoned them a while ago, I think. I have to have a look at this, see if there's any other UK players in here for their. It says they still have a PUBG roster and an incomplete Overwatch 2 roster. Dear oh dear. This, I couldn't believe what I was seeing around this. Team BDS under fire as CEO's controversial statement ruins Rocket League event. Wow, okay, I didn't know there was an event going on. Team BDS CEO. My God. Patrice Belo de Spolberch has gotten the org in hot water after making some controversial comments on Twitter. Now, a day later, one of the year's biggest Rocket League events has been cancelled over it, and BDS have announced internal measures will be taken against him. This is published by Carver Fisher, does a lot of good work for Dixerto. After remarks from the BDS CEO in a now deleted tweet, the event has been cancelled as many of the featured teams vowed to pull out in response to his comments. Take the Throne event this was. CEO said, a woman who dares to use abortion should lose the right to ever have children. A day after that tweet went out, BDS made a statement that Vitality responded to. BDS chose to cancel Take the Throne, and Vitality explained why they were pulling out the event as well. Vitality said, following last night's disrespectful and controversial comments on women's rights by the owner of the organising team, we've taken the decision to withdraw from the Rocket League competition. We strongly condemn these remarks and can in no way accept associating our club and values with such rhetoric. KC and Gentle Mates mirrored Vitality's sentiment and pulled out the event. And the BDS CEO himself has apologised, with his statement reading as follows: I want to apologise for the tweet posted yesterday. I realise after rereading that it is extremely clumsy, does not reflect my true thoughts. Does it? I wrote this tweet in the heat of the moment after watching the video, which shocked me by the method used. Every woman must have control over her body and is free to terminate pregnancy. Again, sorry to all the women and people I offended. Fans have replied to that tweet saying his actions are unacceptable and that though they don't hold any of this mess against Team BDS, they are calling for him to step back. I thought I saw this in English. I must have translated this here. Yeah, I want to apologise. Shout out to Slumpy, good UK Rocket League player, says, I hope BDS finds a new owner. The fans and staff deserve someone better than you to lead them. Carlos has come out and says, ha ha ha, you're a feminine man with no integrity. The moment the blue-haired insects bark at you, your whole view on life flips 180 degrees. I don't know how you people can live with yourselves like this. What a pathetic existence. Oh, God. So I think that's it, to be honest, everyone. I know I haven't spoken about every story I've done. I've got a lot on my list. There's a few stories that have dropped off my list. There's too much stuff happening and I don't have enough time to do it all, and I'm trying to take a little bit of a break. So yeah, are there any other stories, any other things people want me to talk about, my views on anything, the Caedrel stuff before I go? Did people enjoy the stream? It's not like my streams to have 10 viewers and no one talking. Usually I get people chatting, but thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it, as always. And I'm going to add a few news stories to my list. Congratulations to Sammy. I'll drop you a retweet, Sammy. Well done to Verdant. Well done to Giant X Academy team. What's happened here? So this is Bo Dork, who works with the Valorant Regional League, the Challenger League here. Polaris for UK Nordic said, I take full responsibility for the situation which occurred today. For the future, we'll be looking at strengthening our admin team to avoid situations like this from happening again. I won't be doing any admin work in the future. I thought Bodok was supposed to be socials and like marketing stuff. What happened? Made a clumsy mistake which I didn't correct in time. Oh dear. I wonder what exactly happened there. Hazard JC has broken the record for the most times leaking the effing clean feed link on stream. Rudy Valorant close second place. Thank you again for the raid, Hazard. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. You're probably not still watching this. We've got someone talking. Jack. Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. How are you? We've had a very quiet chat tonight, Jack. I've only had 2 people in the chat, Mirai and Atrox. How are you doing? Oh, so Ruddy are playing in the Eclipse League. Eclipse matchups. Do you know what? I've forgotten what Eclipse is. I can't keep up with all the names. I've probably done a story on Eclipse. There we go, slotting challenges North Polaris in its promotion relegation tournament. Oh, Eclipse is the promotion relegation tournament. Okay. So does that mean Ruddy are trying to get promoted? I have to. How have I cut my head? Bloody hell! What's that going on there? Cut my head. And we've got the Game Changers Championship going on, haven't we? I haven't even spoken about that. What's the there it is, it'll be on this, won't it? The grand finals, Shopify Rebellion versus MIBR GC. Shopify won it last year, didn't they? I think. Yeah, they beat Team Liquid Brazil 3-2. It's essentially the Women's World Championship of Valorant, isn't it? Game Changers Championship. How are you, Jack? Jack said, just finished with the open day video for Katana Gaming and College of Esports partnership. That looked really good, by the way. It was a great day out in London. I actually included that because I do a bit of freelance, Jack, for British Esports. I included that in the newsletter this week. I put it top of the education section because I did see, maybe I should probably give you guys a retweet as well. I did see this on the College of Esports here. There you are. There you are, Jack. Back to work after an unreal weekend with the Katana gang down at the College of Esports. Next one, tell us then, Jack. What exactly happened then? What happened? Unreal weekend with the gang down at the College.
All of that because of Dom Sacco. You know when you've been Saccoed.
Chef, legend. Thank you, mate. You know, that we haven't had many of those sub sounds, by the way. Chef, did you like that? Did you recognise who that was saying that? You know when you've been Saccoed? All because of Dom Sacco. Oh, it's not you, Jack. This is confusing to me because I've seen you saying just finished the open day video for Katana Gaming. Jack, tell me, what's your handle? You're not Katana Jack. This is confusing me. I feel like I'm in another dimension or something. How you doing, Chef? Thanks very much. 8 months. I really appreciate that, mate. You're very, very kind. Very kind. I'm coming towards the end of the stream, Chef. I've sort of whizzed through it. We've had quite a quiet chat tonight. We've only had 3 or 4 people talking. Usually, I never get loads of views, but I do get a lot of people chatting. Oh, I did the interview with you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember that. That was really good. How did you get on at the film festival, Jack? Oh, it should be on the Katana page. Okay. This is it. This is what I saw. Katana are taking down interviews on campus with lecturers and guests. Seen below, head of foundation Nathan David left and Dan Maxchat from UK Veterans GG right. You know, that all seems positive. And if you're wondering why, Dom, why aren't you following Katana Gaming? Like, I changed a lot of my Twitter recently to follow. I'm logged into my Dom Sacco account, but a lot, you know, I don't want to follow 300 esports teams on my Dom Sacco account because my feed gets cluttered. But I do it for Esports News UK, so I'm following them on Esports News UK. Challenger roster. 1 week ago, the Katana Gaming team had the honour of attending College of Esports Open Day. We love showcasing our exciting partnership and discussing the bright future ahead while connecting with both current and future students. Good luck to them. I really like the facilities at College of Esports. I've done a few talks there.
Students have found being at the
I hope to do more talks in the future as
especially
well.
with the help of you guys doing the 2v2s, the sort of room with the sort of green screens, the cameras, the action. They found that absolutely amazing, and also the parents found this an amazing time.
I'm in a
really
retweet mode because I'm not doing a lot
There's
of news at the
parents
moment.
nowadays, they don't really know what entirely esports is all about.
Trying to take a little bit of is it a break or just easing up a bit on news? So I'm retweeting a lot
We
instead.
can describe what esports actually is to them.
Hello, iCrazy. Yes, I did do the Caedrel news. I jumped straight into it, and my tweet promoting the stream, it just didn't do very well. I think it's because I put a link in the tweet, and I had people. It took a while to join my stream. I had a raid right at the start from Hazard JC, but I think it was a lot of people who didn't know me, so the chat was very quiet. Yeah, you got it, Chef. Our mate Richard Lewis. Yeah, that was it. He gave me permission to use that, by the way. I thought it was a funny stream sub sound. iCrazy, did I do the Caedrel news? Yep, done all that. Congrats on new CS team. Oh, you got a new CS team, Chef. Tell us what's new. What's the latest? Guys, you know me. I don't follow UK CS super closely, right? I leave that to the lovely guys at UK CSGO. So I don't know many of these. I recognise a couple of the names. And how did you... Were you at the recent Epic LAN as well? Both of you guys are crazy. Chef, how did that go? Good luck with the new roster. It's hard, isn't it? The roster's changed so much. Actually, do you know what? I want to... I want to do a post on the Streamer Awards because there's a few people nominated here. Okay, Caedrel, there's some big guns in there that's nominated. I didn't realise this. Is Nathan Scottish streamer, right? So has he been nominated for Hidden Gem? Because there's a few. There's a few UK ones in here. Hidden Gem. I think Lana May. I'm not fully sure. I think Lana May is UK or UK based. I know it's either Hidden Gem or like Rising Star Award. I think Nora Explorer may be UK. I need to do my research a bit here. But there's some UK talent nominated. Is this right here? June. I found the 2023 one here. This is old. Here we go. Is this right? 2024 Streamer Awards, Hidden Gem. I can't see. I can't see Nathan in there. Oh, nominations are open, so he's not a finalist, right? Okay, I've got it now. Yeah, I'm not bad, thanks, Chef. I've been busy. I'm trying to take a little bit of a step back because I've just finished all our Worlds coverage, and that was like 2 months of non-stop content, TikTok stories, working with freelancers, covering the finals, doing loads of videos, press conferences, and I felt a bit burnt out. So I'm sort of just doing like 1 to 2 stories a day at the moment, a lot of them based on press releases.
All of that because of Dom Sacco. You know when you've been Sacco.
Oh, Chef. Oh, mate, very, very kind. I'll have to get the...
That because of Dom Sacco. You know when you've been Saccoed.
I'm going to have to get the flag. Oh, my God, it's breaking. It's breaking. The UK flag. It's breaking. That's not a good sign. There we go. Thank you, Chef. You're doing it for UK esports. You're doing it for ENUK. I appreciate your support, mate. Don't spend money on me, though. Spend money on your team. Thank you, Chef. I appreciate that. I was just about to end the stream, and you've done that. You've made my night, and we've hit the goal. We're 17 out of 15 subs. I appreciate that. I actually had a Twitch payment the other day. I used to get, I don't know what it was, every 3 or 4 months, 50 quid. And the one I had the other day was like 42 quid. I don't know what Twitch are doing these days. I thought you're supposed to get paid when you reach a 50 quid threshold. Now it's gone down to 40. I can't figure it out, Twitch. I really can't figure out what they're doing with payments. There was a lot of complaints a while ago, wasn't there, from streamers in the UK saying that the Twitch payments weren't correct and they were being underpaid. I don't know what's going on. But thanks very much, Chef. Oh yeah, I remember you saying you don't do events anymore. Hey, if Jacob's still on the chat, Jack, you've got a gifted sub, and if Atrox is still around, he's got a gifted sub as well. Jack, that first, is that you were one of my first 10 subs ever on this channel? That first on the logo next to your name. Jack says it. Went to the Epic LAN. I went to the Epic LAN. It was amazing. I think it was the biggest one. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Chef says, you end your stream. I'm going to watch boxing. I only had 50 quid in about 2 years. Yeah, it's crazy. My TLR stream is in a massive minus. Paying for casters, etc. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine, mate. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Chef. That's very kind. Well, I won't end it straight away then. If you've just joined, I've spoken about the news. I've spoken about stuff. We've had LPL English stream in League of Legends. I know it's League of Legends. Basically getting rid of all the casters and going co-streaming only. That's sad news. UK event. Has anyone been to WASD? I spoke about this earlier. That's closing down. Another UK games event closing down. Okay, it's not esports focused, but I know a lot of people in esports like to go there. They like the networking. We had the Digital Schoolhouse student finals there, which I covered earlier this year. Really nice setup. It was sponsored by Nintendo. I interviewed some of the winners. They had a caster winner, a caster award as well. That was in like the basement of the Truman Brewery in London for WASD. You know, that's all gone now. But we are getting a new event in the UK. And this is going to be part of London Games Festival next year. This is the New Game Plus event. It's going to be a consumer expo. And it's going to showcase upcoming games from around the world across all platforms. And that's 3rd and 4th of April, Thursday and Friday, 2025, at the London Museum's exhibition spaces on London Wall. I did ask their team, are they going to do stuff with esports? I didn't have on-record comment, but I understand they're going to be looking at opportunities for esports, following what we had this year, which I helped with this. We had like a little Rocket League challenge with pro players challenging members of the games industry to matches, 2v2s. This was at the opening night of London Games Festival at Coots Bank in London. So, you know, it is doom and gloom. We've lost Insomnia. We're losing this, you know, WASD. We've had EGX getting smaller and smaller, being shoved into the same event as MCM Comic Con, and there's less game space and all this stuff. Or, you know, I've seen complaints on Twitter and socials of people saying, "Oh, it's not what it used to be," and all of that stuff. But we do have this London Games Festival event coming as well, and we have the Trafalgar Square Games Festival as well as part of this next April, which we may have some esports stuff there, outdoor activities and stuff. So we'll see what happens there. Jack, yeah, I'm an OG. How could I forget, Jack? My God, I feel bad. I did a documentary about a team at the Epicland CSGO team. Was fun. Do you have that? What's your Twitter handle, Jack? Is it the same as... This isn't you, is it? Jack Cambria. I'm Jack and I like to skate. Avenged Sevenfold, Bring Me the Horizon and Blink-182 are awesome, from Manhattan with 5 followers. No, I don't think that's you, is it? Chef says, I was thinking a while ago, outside of college and universities, in my history, has UK sports looked any worse? And at one point I was thinking it was bad when it was the financial crash, but I personally think at the moment, grassroots wise, this is now the lowest ever. I'm saying this from someone that's been here 20 years. Not everyone will have the same opinion. There's an interesting opinion piece in there, Chef. If you ever want to write a guest post for Esports News UK or your own blog or whatever, or you want to do an interview, I'll be happy to do an interview with you, mate, at some point, because I've known you for ages. I don't think we've ever done a proper interview, have we? And you're someone that has, like you say, the experience. You've been around. I can't remember how old you are compared to me, but you're more experienced than me with esports. I'm coming up to 10 years. Working, running Esports News UK, but I have been following esports since 2011, 2012 was when I got into League of Legends. 42, yeah, so I'm not far behind. I'm 39. I just turned 39. In Europe, in general, it's the lowest, you could say. Jack said, "Yeah, I agree. It's a shame, isn't it? I don't know." The grassroots just isn't there. I had someone complaining to me in my DMs the other week saying, you don't write enough about Epicland, Dom, and, you're writing about, like, streamers, and you're writing about this and that, and you're not writing about Epicland. It made me feel quite shit, to be honest. Like, I care about Epicland. It's, It's really important. I always do a pre-event, at least a pre-event story about each Epic LAN event, and I always do a post-event article about each Epic LAN. I can't go to every one. If I didn't have kids, I'd probably go to every one, no problem. Weekends, I want to spend time with my kids. I'm working all day, every day, pretty much on esports news. You might not see it. You might only see, oh, Dom's only done 1 story or 2 stories or 3 stories today. It's not just stories, it's calls and, you know, talking to people and endless emails. The amount of emails I get now is, most of my day seems to be responding to bloody emails, you know. So I do care about it, and I thought it was a little bit harsh as well what they were saying, but yeah, I do care about Epic LAN, and we have the UK CS:GO guys, right? It's CS is not my top specialty. I like CS. I'm actually talking to someone tomorrow about getting some help for CS, because it looks like I might be going to Katowice next year, which I'm looking forward to. And if I can get a coverage partnership for that, I will need help. I will need a junior writer, someone to help me. So I've got a call with someone soon, and hopefully that'll all get sorted, and, you know, maybe they could do some content for me here and there. We'll see. But if the UK CS:GO team is at every Epic LAN, there's no point me doubling up doing stories that they're going to do already. If League of Legends was Epic LAN, of course I'm more likely to go, because it's always been my game historically. So yeah, anyway, I'm waffling. It's not in a good place, is it? The grassroots. We'll always have the collegiate, we'll always have the university scene and all that, but I think we don't have the viewership, do we? We just don't have that. And this is why I like what Caedrel is doing. You know, this streamer content team, this former pro player type team with Reckless and the Baus and Nemesis and Crowny and Caedrel. Yes, we have a rookie in there in Velja, but overall it's like, you know, these massive names. I think this is going to be really fun, bringing viewership to a league that has, let's face it, just been down in the dumps for years now. They are eligible to play in the Balkans EBL, but they're also eligible to play in the UK and Ireland and Nordics NLC. So I hope they choose the latter, and we'll see what happens. But you can, if you're interested in my views on this, you can always rewatch this VOD. I spoke about this story quite a lot early on. Crazy says UK esports needs the people working in it to support the scene properly. And how would you say that? What does that mean, Crazy? How would you want them supporting the scene? Chef says, I've never done an interview. I've always been player focused, team focused. I don't need any recognition. It's not my thing. But Chef, it's not only about recognition, right? It's, you've got important lessons that you can pass on to the younger generation in esports. You've been there. You've seen a lot of the crap that we've been through. You've seen a lot of the good times as well. Those lessons are important. We need to pass them on. You could do I could interview you. It could be anonymous, right? We'd have to wait a while now, because people watching this stream could put 2 and 2 together. You've got interesting stories to pass on. I'm not going to force you to do it. Of course I'm not. But I think it could be valuable to a lot of people. It's not just about like a recognition thing, right? It's a valuable content. I don't do Esports News UK for recognition. I do it to write content that I would like to read myself. And if, you know, there are people out there that like to read it as well, that's great. And then the occasional story does do really well, like this Caedrel one. But that's people Googling him all the time, isn't it? It's always going to do well. I say well, it's like not amazing, like a few thousand views. It's not Dixerto, you know, it's not tens of thousands, or maybe some will even get hundreds of thousands of views. Jack says, I've seen a lot of orgs focus more on content, which is a good sign. Smaller UK orgs, yeah, we need it. We need it. Crazy says, we've got good orgs, but they don't do a lot. Chef says we've hardly got any left. I can count at least 5 that can say they're established. That's no offence to anyone else. I mean established like over 3 to 5 years. I agree with that. There are a lot of... The UK's always had a lot of orgs, crazy, but you know, I've always been a believer in, or my approach to my site as well is I try and focus on quality over quantity. There are a lot of news stories I don't get round to, don't have time to do, maybe aren't as big as like this Caedrel thing. Yeah. Crazy says, we at Annex are wanting to do content and grow from it, also trying to act as our own thing. We've got orgs like Coalesce, Control, Yari, Verdant, Venomcrest, Annex, and some other smaller orgs. Yeah, but some of those are really good. I think I know Verdant and Venomcrest in League of Legends have established themselves really well. Control have done a lot of interesting things, and Coalesce. I don't know a lot about Yari or Annex as well. Maybe you could DM me a bit about Annex, or what they're doing. Jack, I completely agree. Jack says, I think Noctum are making great waves. Yeah. In finals, are they in the finals for ALGS? Is this the ALGS Japan or something else that's going on at the moment? Japan is next year, isn't it? What's going on at the moment? I don't follow Apex very closely. Is it the split free playoffs are we in? I can't find it on Google. Where are we on at the moment? XO. Crazy says internal support. We've got to weed out the bad and start kind of fresh. I did say about some orgs need to merge, work together. Yeah, I saw Verdant one. I retweeted them, and I'm going to add that to my news list where I can get onto it. I'll reach out to Sammy for some quotes. I'll annex some more of a COD org. They made Japan champs yet. Hey, Caro, how are you? I'm really good. I'm good. I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, I was a bit burnt out after all the world's content, and this is why I haven't been doing tons of news lately, because I've just had a lot on. It's also a busy time for me at the moment because I've got my 3 kids' birthdays are coming up, and Christmas. It's like, oh my god, my twins' birthdays end of this month, and then my 7-year-old is going to turn 8. It's his birthday, and like within the first week of December. Then we've got Christmas, and then I have every year. I don't know how or why it's worked out this way, but I have bloody car insurance and home insurance all at the end of the year. It's a horrible time financially. But anyway, I'm digressing. I'm focusing a lot on, you know, kids' birthdays, and oh my god, I think it's harder to organise a kid's birthday than it is a UK esports event, to be honest. You got to keep them happy. You got to, you know, came up with an idea and someone was like, yeah, that's great. And then my wife was like, no, we can't do that because of this, that and the other. So you got to keep your kid happy. You got to be happy. You got to keep your wife happy. You got to keep the other kids happy. You can't do it too expensive. You know, my son wanted this a gaming bus thing. You know, like Fraggers do these really cool gaming buses where they go to events, or they can park outside your road, and you have a kid's birthday party, and you know the bus has got loads of cool games consoles and screens and setups in there. Like 300 quid. It's like I said to my son, I was like, you know, I can't get you presents that are that much. You want this? You're not gonna have presents. So we're actually for his birthday we're thinking of doing a gaming party in our house and getting his school friends and his football team friends round, and I'm going to organise a Swiss style FC tournament, right? So that's going to be fun. And a few of the other dads at the football were like, oh, that'd be perfect for you, Dom, that's up your street, isn't it? But it's like, it is, but like 20 kids running around the house wanting to play, when's it my go and that. I was like, oh my god, you know. So yeah, I'm doing well, Cairo, but yeah, I've got stresses beyond esports. Mate, it's you know, working in esports is bloody hard, but being a parent's harder, I would say. It comes with its own set of challenges, that's for sure. Yeah, they made Japan champs, but when you said in final, oh, okay, in finals, right? Okay, let's have a look at the teams. Why is right? FaZe Clan. I actually forgot. FaZe Clan is like a UK core there. JMW and Nags. Didn't JMW play for what's it called? That Man U ex-player. Jay Lings. Didn't he play for Jay Lings, JMW, or was it someone else he played for? We got Exo Clan, right? See, I'm not. Last year, Hannah Marie was my Apex Legends person that would keep me updated on stuff. I'm way behind with my Apex news. Look, we've got Exo Clan, Nip, FaZe, all got UK players. Nip have got Zane and Amphi. Exo have got Slayers and Feuda. FaZe have got JMW and Nags and Coach Urban. Fnatic have still got their Japanese roster. Guild are in there. Well, what the hell are Guild doing in there? I actually forgot that Guild have got a Apex team. I did this story a while back. There we go. Guild Esports re-enter Apex Legends ahead of Esports World Cup. So I did that story back in June. I do so many stories, I forget half of them after a while. I'm surprised Guild have carried on with that after the Esports World Cup. They must be doing well or doing okay to have got to excuse me, to the Japan finals. We've got UK player Arctic on a team called Primus Commander. I've never heard of them before. From Southeast Asia. There's a lot of teams I haven't heard of here. Meteor, never heard. Dragons Esports, never heard. Gaming Gladiators have got a UK player, Blasts. God, there's a lot of teams, isn't there, in this? And there we go, there's Noctum. So Noctum have got 2 UK players, Mozin and Remix Powers, and they've got a Brazilian Atinum. I remember last year they just missed out on making the London event, which was a shame. I think they had an all-Brazilian roster or something like that back then. And I think that's it. Okay, there's a UK coach, Bouncy Blue for Stallion. So we've got a lot of UK links, haven't we? How old? Does anyone know when this team lineup was confirmed? Because if it was weeks ago, I've missed the news, obviously. But I could still do some kind of like preview. Moist are there as well. Moist, TSM, Cloud9. So EXO, look at this. EXO Clan are in the same group as Moist, TSM, Cloud9, 100 Thieves. Some big names. FaZe, Nip. Guild are in the same group as Fnatic, Complexity, MKers. Noctum are with Virtus Pro, Luminosity, Falcons, Gaming Gladiators. Interesting. Havoc. Oh, what is that team logo? My God, what is that? I don't think you can see it here. Let me expand it. Can you see that? What is that for a team logo? My God. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that one. Chef says, Jokorg, I will say it. How many millions of Guild burned, Dom? Literally burned. I know. Kara says, are you writing anything about home grounds? Months ago, I think last event it was. Okay, Jack, thank you. Home ground. Cairo, I think I had a press release, but I don't think I could see a... I don't think I could see a UK angle for that. I wrote this one last year. Last year was Tokyo, Japan. I know 2022 was Manchester. I actually missed that event, sadly. I didn't get to go to that. We had a few UK and Ireland casters last year. Let's have a look at this year. So this is in Berlin. 20th of November to 23rd. So that's next Wednesday to Saturday. Shout out Ego by OC. They support my site as well. Love them. Let's have a look here. Do we have teams and stuff? Have the teams been? Oh, here we go. Hang on. KC, Focus. Oh, Fnatic. Okay. Team Heretics, T1 Cullen. I think when I had a press release about this, I'm pretty sure there was no mention of the teams, and that's why I didn't run it. But the fact that Fnatic are in there is good. Let me just hide my screen a minute. Actually, I'll tell you what. My phone's going to die in a minute. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just hide my screen a minute. Let me just look at my inbox. I'm just going to look at my press releases, see if I've had anything on it. Okay, so the last press release I had was this is why I haven't run anything on this Caedrel. Excuse me. It's because this is getting in touch with an update that I don't know if I can show this on stream because it's got PR's emails and things on it. No, and it's not even a big. It's not even a press release, to be honest. It's just some lines. Let me have a look here. I can probably actually no, I can't share this screen. It basically says getting in touch with an update. At Red Bull home ground, the high stakes Global Valorant Invitational has unveiled that Team Heretics will be joining the competitive ranks alongside Cloud9, who scooped victory at the North American qualifiers last weekend. This is an old email, right? Previously announced teams KC, Focus, Iranian champions Fnatic. Oh, damn. I probably should have run something on this. It probably came at a time that I was really busy or something. The press release was sent to me at 4 p.m. on a Friday. I wish PRs wouldn't send emails right at the end of the week when journalists are winding down and things like that, but it is what it is. I would like to do something on it, actually, Cairo. Yeah, I would do. I'm going to put this on my list after I've got off this stream. I'll put it on my news list. Might be an angle in the next couple of days. Oh, okay. There's also play-ins. Yeah. And the casters haven't been announced yet, right? So I will casters, especially if there's UK casters, always gives me an angle. Are you going to be there, Cairo? I don't want to get you in trouble. Maybe you can't say. Let me catch up on the chat here. Chef, Guild have burnt a lot of money. They have. It's been quite sad. CJ, how are you? I'm not bad, thank you. I'm not bad. I've just been talking about, I had a little bit of post-Worlds burnout. I've got the stress of organising 3 of my kids' birthday parties with my wife. Birthdays, Christmas, work. There's just a lot of stories flying around. It's a tough place. Hey, Jace, how are you? Jace says, hello, Mr. Sacco. Excited for Lost Ratones. Yes, think it's going to be hit. Yeah, and if you want to hear my views on it, I chatted about it a lot at the start of this VOD. We had quite a quiet stream for the first hour, and I was about to end the stream early, and then we had a bunch of subs and gifted subs and things from Sheffield and a few others, and I just carried on chatting, and we had an active chat, which was nice. But yeah, massive news. It's still not confirmed. Let's not get carried away. It's not confirmed whether this is in the NLC or not. The team is eligible to play, and I've checked with this. I've checked the rule books. I've checked with my NLC contacts. They are eligible to play in NLC or EBL. When I first looked at it, I thought, hang on a minute, they're not eligible to play because you need 3 locally trained reps. And in the roster, there's only 2. The Baus and Reckless from Sweden. However, a team roster technically also includes a coach. in the rule book, right? So we do have 3 locally trained. We've got Caedrel, Reckless and Balfs. So they're eligible to play in the Balkans, EBL or the NLC. Everyone's talking about NLC. I've heard it's NLC. It's just not 100% confirmed yet. So, and like I put at the bottom of my article, you know, the Caedrel memes, he always cancels things. I've put my opinion in. Let's just hope Caedrel doesn't somehow cancel the NLC in the process. So we'll see what happens. Nemi Crowney and Reckless in the regional league are gonna F. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's gonna crazy. Thank you, CJ. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I do need to. It's just, you know, when you run a small independent website and you don't have a lot of budget to pay for freelancers, you got to do a lot yourself. It's bloody hard. And again, you know, please, if you're interested in business news as well, do support the likes of Esports Advocate as well, because James is similar to me in that, you know, he's doing this out of passion. He's doing this because he cares, and I do think the future of specialised journalism is going to be, you know, one-man bands and things like that, or Substacks. You know, look at Richard Lewis. Richard Lewis is, okay, he's a very, very well-established journalist, but he is a one-man band, isn't he? He's not. He has worked at Dixerto and loads of other publications, but he's a one-man band, and I do think the future of specialised journalism is like that. But us indies, us specialist journalists, we've got to stick together as well. So I do support what James is doing, of course. Jimbo, Halo, player, coaching now. Are you saying Jimbo, the Halo player, is coaching now? Has he moved to coaching? Crazy. Jace says NLC would be huge. I have a friend who's potentially going to be in the NLC. Oh, cool. Can you name him, Jay, or them, Jace? Who are they? Yeah, Jimbo. That really rings a bell. I crazy. That is. I think I've written about him before. Yeah, James Bradbrook. I have definitely written about him because he's been on. So he's in Into the Breach at the moment. He's been with Navi, Radiant Esports. That's Radiant. Was that Nathan's org, or am I getting confused with something else? What did? Yeah, that was Nathan Edmonds' org, wasn't it? Wow, he's been on Nathan Edmonds' org. Epsilon Esports 2015. That's when I started the org, Team Infused. So he's moved to coaching. Yeah, there we go. Excited to announce our 2025 HCS roster. Currently looking for an org to represent. Interesting. That's a new tweet that's just come out, isn't it? That is interesting. Well, if they get picked up by an org, please give me a shout. Crazy. I'll definitely do an article on that. I say if. It sounds like when, from some of the comments here, and how good the players are. I recognise 2 of these players, Mighty, and I don't know how to pronounce that name, Chick. Don't know how to pronounce. French Halo player. Wasn't he playing for? They've just gone, haven't they? Out of Halo. Quadrant. Was he playing for Quadrant? I think they had a French team. Yeah, he was on Into the Breach. Oh my god, I can hear my kids waking up. Basically, my wife's gone out tonight. That's why I've done a sort of slightly earlier stream. I put the kids to bed and I've got the monitor here. And I can hear one of them coughing. So I may have to jump out of this stream at some point. I think they're all right. Does anyone want to ask me about anything? Because I've been streaming for coming up to 2 hours now. I've sort of spoken about the stories I've wanted to speak about. The LPL and the Caedrel lost Ratones thing, or however you say it, is definitely the biggest story of the week. And also we've lost WASD. But I've got a lot of stories on my list. You know, if I had unlimited resources and time, I would have another 10 to 15 stories on here. I just haven't had time, and I have to get the balance right. I will do stories on for Google about, you know, the Overwatch Champions Series. Hey, this is up your street here, Jace. Thanks for your comment, by the way, on this. I put your comment in here. Actually, I think this is interesting that it's taking place at DreamHack, the Overwatch Championship Series, or whatever it's called, Champions Series, sorry. DreamHack Stockholm, November 22nd to 24th. We've got 4 UK players taking part, haven't we? 2 on Space Station, Backbone and Funny Astro, and then 2 on Ents, Kai and... How do you pronounce that? Maimone. And then Jaws. I mean, Jaws has been casting Overwatch for years now, hasn't he? He's a veteran. And other top casters and broadcast talent as well. Golden Boy, Zoe, and so on. I don't. The Overwatch Classic, Jace, actually, has got me. You know, I loved Overwatch when it came out. This Overwatch Classic thing has got me wanting to play the game again. But it's only for 3 weeks, isn't it? For 3 weeks to December 2nd. Have you been playing Overwatch Classic?
It's great to see the gang back together.
Remember all those sentries everywhere. I still haven't, by the way, I really want to play Warcraft. Warcraft, did you see what Warcraft announced the other day? I know it's not esports, but they announced their 30th anniversary stuff. And there was a few interesting bits and pieces in here. Player housing finally coming to Warcraft. I cannot believe it. I've got the bloody latest expansion downloaded. I haven't even played it. I don't have time to play MMOs. You know, they've got new stuff in Classic and all this stuff, and I don't have time to play it. But I would like to. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it there, everyone. We're 10 to 11. I've got to get up early tomorrow. And, yeah, I really appreciate all your support tuning in. I really like chatting to you all. It's, you know, it's nice to have this little community and care about UK sports, obviously. So I want to write a book next year about UK sports and 10 years of UK sports. I'll do it as an ebook, but I'm sure I'll make some physical copies. I did a book. Where is it here? If you don't know, I did a book a couple of years ago, which was about my old World of Warcraft character, very geeky. I know, and it's fan fiction. It's about World of Warcraft, right? So I couldn't sell it, but I got some physical copies made, and I did it as an ebook. And yeah, for me, it was just a fun little challenge, a fun little project, and it's, you know, I'm not going to quit my day job. I'll put it that way, right? Creative writing isn't really my thing, but you know, factual writing, journalistic stuff, newsy stuff is my thing. Interviews, biographies. I would love to go on a some kind of like biography book writing course. I want to do that. I would love to write biographies about people in esports in the future. But yeah, I want to do this book on UK esports next year. Esports journalism and like 10 years covering the scene. You know, the highs and the lows. I think would be quite interesting and really go into detail of like my day-to-day job, some of the challenges I've had and all that stuff. I'd love to do that. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, everyone. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon. Take care.